One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay feeling. One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay feeling. It's BV, it's BV, BV, it's BV,
Yeah.
it's BV, it's BV, it's BV, it's BV.
It's BV and Jellified, Jimmy Beam and Bly, reaching high as where we reach, yo, as high as to the stars. Beats in the villain Jeep, vibrating other cars. Whose world is this? Yo, we say the world is ours. So we grow beards, no fear, photos so clear. Take another shot, so to speak, yeah, more beer. BV worldwide, put a fist to the sky. Cheers, cheers, New Year's, dope rhyme, good vibes. My crew speaks power, Chi-Town bleeds power. Knowledge, wisdom, and truth in the final hour. Respect, loyalty, family, charity speaks power. Here the village brotherhood speaks honor. Forwards and onwards, stay villain to the end. I will never shave again because my beard is not a trend. I represent excellence, leadership, and never follow. I'm a BBC member, yo, lieutenant of Chicago.
One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay feeling. One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay feeling. It's BV, 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 it's BV. Yo, all I see.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 90 of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the bearded villains worldwide brotherhood and the lives they are changing all over the world. It is Friday night. We are back. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, whether you're here on a standard podcast platform afterwards, or you're here with me right now live over on YouTube. I greatly appreciate you hanging out, listening, checking out what we're all about here. If this is your first time, like and subscribe to this channel so you get all of those updates about what's coming down the pike here before too long from this channel. As I said again, this is episode 90. This is BP talking to you from the Bearded Villains of Northern Indiana, but also the host of The Heart of a Villain. Now, guys, episode 90. We are flying along. We're on the countdown stage, coming in to this train station where we got number 100 just waiting for us. I've been in the talks with a few people trying to arrange kind of some cool stuff for episode 100 to pop off. So I'm really excited, and I'm going to try to avoid any teasers before we get there so that everybody decides that it's must-see TV for them, or must hear, or must view, must watch, must listen, something for them for episode 100 for sure. I know I'm looking forward to it. And just so you know, the date, I believe, would be September 10th. So we do have several weeks to get there, but because we're so high up there, we're at 90 now. So we can kind of see that light coming. And yeah, so I'm excited. And once we hit that 100, we're just going to roll on down that hill, keep going. Looking forward to all those other ones down the road. So I'm really excited, guys. Episode 90 of The Heart of a Villain. Now today we are going to, I looked at the calendar this week and I said, we are halfway through the year already. As a matter of fact, today, technically speaking, today at noon, I guess it would be, I don't know which time frame you go by, if it's Greenwich Mean Time or Central Time or what. But anyway, today at noon, whatever time frame you go by, is the true midpoint of the year, July 2nd. We are July 2nd already, guys. So July 2nd at noon, considered to be, is the midway point of the year. Can you believe it? This year, I mean, before too long, I hate to say it, but before too long, the days are going to start getting shorter again. And it seems like I don't know about you, but it seems like we just started seeing daylight again after last year. So this is one of those years where I would not mind if we just had a extended year. Like one of those years that they have on Game of Thrones, where it seems like it's going to be a long winter. That winter seemed to last like 3 years. I'd be okay if the spring, summer time for 2021 lasted that long, just so we could get out and enjoy it, really. But we know that's not going to happen. So we are here. We're going to talk a little bit about some motivation, some things. We're here at the halfway point, as I said. We're turning that corner for the halfway of the year. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up, we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, is I reached back out to a bunch of the people that, if you remember back in January, we didn't create it. We jumped on the bandwagon of somebody else's creation, really, of the one-word challenge. And if you recall, I placed a challenge out to all of you listening and watching to come up with one word for 2021 as a means of motivation, as a means to really push you through what you want to do, what you want to get accomplished, what you want to see happen in 2021. And we had a lot of really, really good responses. And what's funny is over 20 of the people that I had people that responded to me and didn't want to do it on camera or on film. And I understand that. But of the 20 something that we had that included a video or let me record a video of them talking about their word, not a single one of them, if you remember, were duplicates. So how creative you guys were at coming up with a word that meant something to you. So tonight we're going to revisit a few of those. And my hope is that next week, for episode 91, as we start pushing toward the second half of the year, we're also going to have a few more of those to talk about, the people's one-word challenge. And it's always interesting how you revisit ideas that you had earlier in the year, because a lot of times you don't get a chance to do that unless forced to, right? It's not until like January of the following year when you're trying to think up resolutions, if you do that kind of thing, or it's not until Thanksgiving time, November, December, that you realize, oh crap, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this, this, and this. And I didn't. And so you're left with this very sad feeling of, a lack of accomplishment. And so this is a great time for us to kind of do a check on ourselves and check on our goals, check on our dreams even, and see if we're doing what we can, if we're doing what we set out to do at the beginning of the year. Now, I'll go into that in just a minute. There's a really cool quote that I'm going to talk about when I get into that. That is a great reminder, and it's a gut check, but it's also, like I said, it's such a great reminder of the fact that you need to recognize that we are only at the halfway point, and there's so much time left. So we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. But first, I want to say hey to all the fine people that are here with me live on YouTube that I can see. I know there's others of you out there, but if you're not commenting in the comment section, there's really no way for me to know that you are here, so I do apologize. Well, I'll say thank you to all of those of you. But Rob is here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, as he always says to us. Great to see you out there. Jay, hello, folks. Jay's hanging out with us as well. How you doing, Jay? We're going to hear from Jay in just a few minutes about his one-word challenge. If you remember correctly, Jay kind of pushed the envelope a little bit of the rule book on that one-word challenge, but for a very, very good reason, and I loved it. Nick is here with us as well. Joker, how you doing? Mr. Parsons, I don't know if he does this all the time, if he just left his caps lock on, or if this is him yelling or not, but all capitals. Hello, everyone, just got home from work. So I don't know if he's excited or angry because he just got home from work. But you know, we'll take it for what it is. Good to see that you're home. He says he's exhausted, though. So good to see. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Mr. Ramsey, how are you doing? Thanks so much for joining in with us. Good news on the family front for you this week. Lots of prayers and good thoughts coming out to you. Kyle is hanging out with us as well, and so is One Feather, Mr. Wayne. Daniel, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. And Chris is here as well. And all right, guys. So that's what I've got so far. I'm sure there'll be others, and I'll try to say hi to you as you come in, or as you type messages and whatnot. But guys, again, this is episode 90. We're flying along, and I want to, as I always do, I want to take a few minutes out to talk a little bit about some of the merch stuff that's going on out there that I've found and I've been able to share, but also talk about some really cool, truly really cool things that some of our other chapters out there are doing. And this is by no means trying to exclude anybody, but these are chapters that I've been able to find in my Instagram feed or you know, my different feeds out there, so that I can help just throw a little shadow, a little light, I'd rather, not a little shadow, cast a little light on some of these chapters that are doing some really cool things. If you have something going on within your chapter, if you've done something cool that changes lives, that's affecting lives in a positive way, big, small, or huge, I don't care, share it with me. Let me know. Send me a message. Send me a couple pictures of it or a video. Because, like I said, it may not seem like a big deal to you, but it's inspiring to the rest of the brotherhood. Those that really want to see growth, those that really want to see lives being touched, those that are looking for other reasons and other suggestions on ways they can help. They're getting that from you guys, from those of you who are out there not unafraid to share it. It's not a matter of bragging. Please don't ever think that. It's not a matter of you saying, look at what our chapter's doing compared to everybody else. That's not what I don't want to think about it that way. It's you're sharing what your chapter is doing in hopes that it will push other chapters, in hopes that it'll give another chapter some sort of a goal or an idea. And so often it does. So we're going to talk about those in just a second. But first, I want to get into a couple of merch things that we have. And the LA Original chapter is still selling. These are as of earlier today. They were still live. So as far as I know, LA Originals chapter at laoriginals.bigcartel.com is selling this really cool red, white, and blue 6-side villains patch. The proceeds of this are going to the Tyler Skaggs Foundation. It's the foundation that they were taking part in a gathering, I believe, last weekend to help raise some money. So this patch is still live on their site, I believe. So if you want to grab it, go out and grab it. Help out. Help raise some money for the Tyler Skaggs Foundation out there. Also, this patch is still live. I've not heard about it being taken down or sold out yet, but it's a really cool patch from Chesapeake Bay Bearded Villains. It's their Juneteenth Fear patch, $19, and Chesapeake Bay BV.BigCartel is where you go for that one. Really, really cool patch with some bold colors. Thing really pops. So definitely check that out. Now, also, what I want you to remember is that we talked a couple weeks ago about the autism puzzle, the full-on autism puzzle that was created by numerous chapters coming together. And as I said, each chapter that's involved in this has their own patch in the shape of a puzzle piece recognized by their chapter. And each patch will be sold for the same price, same shipping as the others. They're going to be released 2 per month at the beginning of each month, right? So we are now into the second month of the sales. So if you missed out on our first 2, I do apologize. We gave you every chance we could to get in there on those. But now we have 2 more patches out there as part of the puzzle pieces. So the first one that's coming out, again, $9 plus shipping, is the Virginia puzzle piece. The Bearded Villains of Virginia puzzle piece. You can find that one at beardedvillainsvirginia.bigcartel.com. beardedvillainsvirginia.bigcartel.com. Now remember, guys, these are now limited. Starting this month, they're limited. There is a finite number of these out there. You do not want, if you want to collect all of the pieces and have a full puzzle at the end, you don't want to miss out. So please do yourself a favor, take advantage while you're thinking about it tonight and grab one of these things. The other one that's released this week for this month is the Bearded Villains Steel City. So the Steel City patch, $9 plus shipping, same thing. It's available at steelvillains.bigcartel.com. So you got Virginia and you got Steel City come out this week. That's for this month. These are the 2 for this month. Do not miss out. There is a finite number of these, like I said. Do not miss out on these guys. Absolutely. So please don't forget. Please don't forget. I don't want to hear you complaining later. Oh, I missed it. It's July 2nd. Okay. You have the entire month, but don't think of it that way because, like I said, what happens if a bunch of people suddenly jump on and be like, oh, I want to collect. You miss out. So please do yourself a favor tonight after the podcast, not right now. I don't want you to leave the podcast, but tonight after the show or later on tonight in some way, shape, or form, or no means don't wait past the weekend because you never want to miss out. Go out there, get your 2 puzzle pieces, be done with it, and you're done for the month. You got it out of the way, it's done for the month. $9 each plus shipping, you're ready to go. Okay, guys. Next thing I want to talk about real quick, some really cool stuff going on within a few of our chapters. So I want to take a second and recognize a couple chapters. First, Dallas down there getting dirty, cleaning up their roadside. Adopt a highway. Now, this was the first, maybe they do this in Dallas or in Texas because it's bigger in Texas. I don't know. But a lot of times where I see these things where they do adopt a highway, a lot of times it's only 1 mile. So I don't know if I'm the only one that sees that and notices that when they do it, or maybe it's just different in all the different states or different parts of different states. But I don't remember ever seeing where it's more than 1 mile. But hey, in Texas, where everything's bigger, adopt a highway next 2 miles. Bearded Villains of Dallas, Texas have their time, have their space, and they got her cleaned up. So shared that picture last Saturday. Congratulations, guys. Great way to not only get the name out there, but also help in a very needed area. So very, very cool stuff. Don't forget about the Phoenix Bearded Villains is looking for donations right now. hit up the Bearded Villains Phoenix chapter, or you can actually PayPal them some money. They're looking for a bunch of different things to raise for the Andre House, who they've partnered with in the past. Very, very cool stuff. So definitely check them out. Also, this one's kind of near and dear to my heart because where we came from, right? Where I came from, I want to give a huge shout out to the Bearded Villains of Indiana. So BVIN last year, through the very, very, very spirited efforts of Captain Joe, he pushed and worked and worked and worked to create a scholarship fund for youth in Indiana, not specifically youth, but for college or students that are going to secondary education per se. So it wasn't limited to a 4-year degree or 4-year college, basically limited to as long as you're in Indiana and you fit the criteria and you're going to, go on with your education, it's good. So I just got to read this because I think it's a really cool thing, guys. And I'm extremely proud of the guys down there at BVIN for what they've done. So they put this release out this week. Bearded Villains of Indiana named Carmel native Jade Finley the winner of the 2021 Agents of Change Scholarship. The award recognizes outstanding acts of service by a student advancing their education in any field. Previous winners include Emily Graves of New Carlisle, Indiana. It is an absolute honor to award the 2021 Agents of Change Scholarship to Jade. We had a lot of really great individuals who are doing amazing acts of service in their community this year. We were touched by her tenacity and just a dose of encouragement service project. So, congratulations, guys. They have given out thousands of dollars, several thousands of dollars already, with just 2 years now of this scholarship fund. So, such a cool thing. I don't know of another chapter out there that has a scholarship fund like this. So just big props to those guys for keeping this thing going, not making it a one-time adventure, and looking forward to seeing that thing grow as the years go on. So again, congratulations, BVIN. And then the last thing I've got here on this list is last week, as you know, many of you know, Bearded Villains Chicago, BVC, had celebrated their 6th anniversary with a party. But before their party, they did a homeless outreach. And this is actually going to be a monthly thing that they're going to be doing now for the time being, just to kind of make up for lost time, for all that lost time that they didn't have last year. And so they're still out there asking for donations for these items here. And they have some high demand items, plus size clothes, shampoos, soap, razors, jeans, flip-flop socks. If you're anywhere in the Midwest and you can swing up to Chicago for these donations, absolutely help out. If you want to help out on one of the donation effort times when they go out to do this stuff, I'm telling you what, it can be the most rewarding thing you do in a long time. And I say that because I don't know if you've been around Instagram the past week to see some of the photos, some of the videos that the Chicago guys put out from last weekend's events. But I'm here to tell you, pretty amazing stuff. Now, a lot of times we make plans to participate in an event and to do some sort of charity thing, and then we have to change them, or we have to alter them, or even cancel them because of weather. Not Chicago. Last weekend was one of a few days where there was torrential downpours of rain, thunderstorms coming through the area, flash flooding going on through the area. And Chicago says, we're still here and we're still doing our thing. And I have to share this with you guys. There's 2 little videos. For those of you who are listening on standard podcast platforms, I do apologize because there's not a whole lot of talking in some of this for these short videos. But I encourage you to go over to YouTube later and watch these videos if you're listening on a standard podcast platform, because you will be inspired and encouraged by these videos. Absolutely, I think, as much as I am. But I'm here to tell you, Pretty amazing stuff. So I want to share these. These are two videos that our brother at the BVC Porter Rocks shared, and just wow. So bear with me here and enjoy these videos of a very, very rainy, soaked morning and early afternoon last Saturday. Okay, so that's just a quick video showing what it looked like there under an underpass. But that's not even a glimpse of what they saw and what they were dealing with later.
All right, we are at location number 2.
Crazy to think that people are living in these situations with all this downpouring right on top of their little
Some of the
tents.
bros, we're at location number 2. We're about to head up location number 3. Like I said, man, rain, sleet, or snow, we are not going to stop. Unfortunately, last year, we weren't able to do anything because the city was on lockdown. So the opportunities that we had were very minimal. This year, now that Chicago's opened back up, we are out, boots on the ground, hitting the streets in the rain at the bros here. And I said it before, I said it again. Nobody does it like Chicago. Nobody does it like Chicago. And we're out. We're going to hit location number 3 now, so you guys stay tuned, all right? And peace, love, and power. All day.
Stay dry.
Stay dry. Stay dry.
Stay dry, he says. Yeah, stay dry. Oh man, I'm telling you, I was so bummed. I had unfortunately some family obligations, and I had to be home during that time. I'm watching these guys on their live streams while they're out there doing this stuff, and humbling and also inspiring at the same time. I didn't see, at least on any camera that I saw, not a single guy complaining or upset about the weather. It was a chance to give back. And so you had brothers from 2 different chapters in Indiana. You had brothers from all over Chicago. You had, I think, some Villanets there helping out as well. I'm hoping that I'm not forgetting any chapter brothers from other places that were there. But so cool to see. So congratulations on 6 years, Chicago. But also, more importantly, congratulations, I think, on the fortitude that you guys had pushing through and saying, no, we're still doing this. This is us. This is BVC. This is what we're about. So very, very cool to see. That's some crazy, awesome stuff. Okay, now, I want to take a second. Well, there I go again. Oh, man, I deserve something worse than that. This is what I deserve for that one. For me to say a second, I gotta stop doing that, guys. You gotta keep on me with that. I keep saying just a second, and it ends up being 10 minutes of talking about something. So now I'm gonna transition over, and we're gonna talk about being at the halfway point of the year. And as we are at the halfway point, remember I did push some people and create and push a challenge. Push a challenge out to people that I wanted people to think ahead and think beyond the idea of standard New Year's resolutions, because as we all know, I know I've never made a New Year's resolution that worked, that I stood by. That seems to be the case with so many people. You make a New Year's resolution and you hope that it lasts 10 days. You hope that it lasts a month, right? They always fall off the wayside. And a lot of times you don't even remember what kind of a resolution, if you made one, you made. So I challenged everybody, think about it. One word, think about one word. And think about how that word is going to drive you, going to push you to do what you want to do this year. And I've got a few responses back today. I'm going to have some more back next week. But I just want to share with you what a handful of individuals that did respond so far have said about their one-word challenge pushing them through 2021. And there's a Martin Luther King quote that I love. When I've read it so many times, I've seen it in so many different contexts. But I think when we're talking about the midway point of the year and seeing what's behind us, but also looking ahead and having the vision to recognize the difference between the two, this quote I love, and I think it's something that we can carry on in our thoughts as we push forward. And that Martin Luther King quote says, "You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step." Right? You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. And that's what some of these guys have done. They've driven, they've pushed themselves on. So just want to share with you a few of the responses that I've gotten back so far. We'll have some more next week. But halfway through the year, here's how these individuals' one words have pushed them.
At the beginning of the year, we were asked to choose one word to describe our hopes for 2021. My word, without question, was pride. I can say 6 months into the year that has not changed in the least. I feel nothing but pride, both in my chapter personally, who has grown more both in size and in beliefs during this pandemic than any other year previous, as well as in this brotherhood and beyond, who have shown that we can work together, that we can get through just about anything, and that whether it's 1 year, 2 years, or 10 years in between, every hug will have just as much meaning. Every word that we speak will mean the same. We all stand strong. We all believe in what we believe, and I am proud of everybody here, and I am proud of every one of you. Great job, everybody.
Okay, so my word of the year, word for the year, word of the year, whatever, was semicolon. Semicolon being keep pushing through, keep moving on. How have I put that into practice? How have I dealt with that this year? How have I tried to make that work for me? Well, I have been in constant contact with my doctor. I have been doing mental health checkups. I have started seeing a therapist. I have found a group of other people who deal with depression and ADHD and a lot of the things I deal with, and I have been working with them. I've gotten much closer to a couple of friends who also have mental health struggles, and we have spent time together and talked together and kind of helped each other through our stuff. So yeah, it's been a continuation of what I've always been doing, but yeah, I've definitely put that word into application this year. Cheers.
Yeah, my word was hopeful. I think it was a good word. Things have gotten really good around the country. It seems like COVID restrictions are lifted. People are getting back out. Meets are happening. Charity events are happening. Lots of good things happening around the BV world. Lots of chapters are raising a lot of money for good causes. Lots of really neat things are happening. The autism puzzle piece thing that's going on is really amazing. That's cool. Some other good things are about to happen or getting ready to happen. I think hopeful was a good word. It's BV has endured and found a way to be successful in spite of everything else. No matter what you throw at BV, we seem to come through. Hopeful was a good word.
What's going on, everybody? Slap Happy from upstate New York and the New York Unicorn Squad. Little halfway through the year update. My word for 2021 was drive. Drive's been a real big one this year, whether it be the upstate New York crew or the New York Unicorn Squad. We've been driving and pushing, trying to get traction and do some stuff, and it's been really good so far. 2021 has not been a bad year for upstate New York or the Unicorn Squad. Matter of fact, that drive has really helped through with the Unicorn Squad. We're getting ready to release a charity event that we've been working on since December. We've got 2 chapters jumped on board to help us out, and it's going to be really good. And without that drive and that push, none of this would be able to be accomplished. So, no matter how bad the world gets, no matter how hard things get, like, you got to drive, you got to push through, you got to keep that traction going. So everybody have a great year, and don't lose that drive, and just keep pushing on to the next thing. And there's nothing you can't accomplish. So just keep driving.
I love those responses, guys. Special thanks to those of you who did reach back out and share those with me so far. One of the greatest things I think about this brotherhood is that we can feel comfortable, we can feel confident that it's okay to bear parts of us and our thoughts to other people, that to our brothers, to the people here, that we just don't feel comfortable maybe doing outside of this thing that we call the Bearded Villains. So, I'm amazed by it. I'm inspired by it. Jay, love you, man. You're a great example for others to follow. And even though I give you a hard time for, coming up with a word like semicolon, when everybody else is coming up with a standard one word, I think it was so perfect for you, and perfect in a lot of different ways. And I love the way that you're able to talk about and push through and be a great example to other people who may be struggling. So kudos to you. Kudos to all of you guys so far that have participated in this, both parts of it. I look forward to checking back with the 4 of you specifically also right now at the end of the year to see how things have been for you for the whole year. There's others that are going to be coming next week, other videos that I will share of other people's responses for their midway point of the year. I think the most important thing for us to recognize is we are only halfway through. And whether or not you have used that word that you came up with, whether or not you even created a word in January, it's never too late. It's never too late to engage that word into what you're going to do for the last half of the year. It's never too late to just create one for the rest of the year. So I want to encourage you to find something, find a word. My word for 2021 was move. Move. And I chose that word for a lot of different reasons, some of which I have been able to keep that word in focus and use it. And in other ways, I haven't, right? Those of you who know me well know that one of my reasons for move was an anticipation of finding myself in a healthier place physically and slimming down a little bit and getting there. That has not happened yet to any kind of a reliable nature. So I'm going to keep pressing on and focusing on that part of the word as we go on. I don't feel defeated because that hasn't happened yet. Move has also helped me out because there's projects around the house that we've pushed through that we've been waiting on for, we've been debating, thinking of doing for a couple of years now, and they're finally happening. They're finally getting done. Move has helped me in a lot of different ways. The growth of myself personally, the growth of my chapter, the growth of BV, the growth of this podcast. Move has helped me at times where I don't quite know where I want to go with something, right? And I have to pivot and move in a different direction than I once thought. This whole idea, this grand idea that I have of this documentary film about BV, I've already had to pivot on that one 3 or 4 different times from what I originally thought of. And it's worked out in a very, very positive way. So use your word. And if you don't have a word, get a word for 2021 and let it push you, let it drive you, let it inspire you, whatever you need to push through for the rest of the year. You know, as we talk about these kind of things, there's another quote, and you know I'm big on instrumental, or I'm big on inspirational quotes. And there's a quote by Carl Bard that says, although no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. How cool is that to think about? Although no one can go back and make a brand new start, we're halfway through the year. You can't go back and redo the first 6 months, right? You can't go back and redo the first how many years of your life. Although no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now. Start from now and make a brand new ending. You have control over that. You have control over how July is going to end. You have control over how 2021 is going to end. Start now and make it happen for you, how you want it to happen. Write your own ending. There's one other quote I want to mention, and I think it's so perfect for right now, where we are kind of stopping for a second to take a hold and look back at this year, the first 6 months, and putting into place what we want to do for the rest of the year. And this is a quote from Anne Frank, of all people. Put such thought into this. And that is, what a wonderful thought it is that some of the best days of our lives haven't even happened yet. We're always talking about, in hindsight, right? We're always talking about, when you think about best days of your life, you can come up with 1 or 2, right? You can come up with maybe 4 or 5 from your past. But how positive, how cool of a thought is it to think about the fact that what a wonderful thought it is that some of the best days of your life haven't even happened yet. I love that thought. I love being positive, thinking about that. And thinking about some of the really cool things that are going to happen in our lives that we just don't know about yet. Those are going to be some of your best days you're going to look back on. And what I want you to think about is, as you're thinking about that, when they come, grab them with both hands. Seriously, recognize them and see them for what they are, an incredible day. And stay with it. Because we don't want to be the people that look back and only have memories, right? And wishes we could, and regrets and all that stuff. So think about the fact that some of those best days of your life haven't even happened yet. I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that possibility. I hope you guys are too, really. If you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and coarse hairs, but make your beard soft and smell amazing, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran owned and made for today's beards, Pulpo Beard Products combine the best beard ingredients on the market with incredible customer service to ensure your happiness. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo beardoils.com, and use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. Absolutely, Jay. Jay's always coming in. We can always count on Jay with the good one-liners every once in a while, right? After all, Jay is the one that said, "The heart of a villain never stops beating." And I know this isn't truly his quote, but it's always a good one, and it's a great reminder. If you're not moving forward, you've stopped. I like it. Well, guys, we've got a few things. We got a bunch of things, actually, to talk about as far as what's on our calendar right now, right? And I do apologize right now because I did not get a chance. I didn't tell you. Today's been kind of a crazy day for me. And I've been doing a bunch of housework, yard work, and different things like that. I've got some people here working, building a fence, doing some work around the house there. And on top of that, then the wife comes off early from work. We went over to a concert, beer tasting, wine tasting thing over by out in the country somewhere for a couple hours. I jetted from that to come back over here for this. So unfortunately, I did not get a chance to edit the scrolling part of the screen. Now, if you're listening on a standard podcast platform, this won't matter to you at all. You won't care and you won't notice it. But those of you who are viewing still right now on YouTube, you're going to see a couple of events that have already passed. So I do apologize. I did not get a chance to edit those out. But hey, what are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? It's free to watch, really. You're not paying admission. What do you expect? So let's scroll into our calendar of events, guys, for this time of the year. Again, we got a lot of stuff going on. Find some way to help out another chapter. Find a way to attend one of the several chapter events that are going on out there over the rest of the summer and into the fall, because we need to be out there supporting our other chapters. And if that means it's an overnight event for you, that you're spending the night somewhere, do it. Do it. You would be shocked at how cool it feels to travel, if you've never done it, to go help out, to go be a part of somebody else's event, and know that your attendance was noticed, it mattered, and that in some way, shape, or form you helped out, even in a small way, to whatever their charitable endeavors were for that event. So, yeah, just check that out, guys, for sure. All right. So, first one on our schedule right now, we've got a little bit of a break, about a week for now. July 10th, Philadelphia Bearded Villains is hosting a barbecue and charity cornhole tournament. They have already passed their RSVP time frame, but hey, give them a shout if you want to go over there. I'm sure they can accommodate you. Philadelphia Bearded Villains, that's July 10th. They're for their barbecue and charity cornhole tournament. Also that same day, if you're anywhere near Georgia, hit up the northern, easy for me to say, right? The North Georgia Bearded Villains. They have Southern style beards and barbecue. Southern style beards and barbecue. Those just kind of go together, don't they? Sounds fun. It's in Hartwell, Georgia. Don't have any specifics on it, but it sounds like a good time. Barbecue sounds good anytime. So, yeah. Hanging out with brothers and barbecue? Why not? That's July 10th, North Georgia, BV. Then July 16th through the 18th, it's a weekend. It's in New York Upstate. The Bearded Villains New York Upstate celebrates 1 year and counting. It's in Lyons, New York. There's a meet and greet on the 16th. Again, barbecue. There's a charity softball game, pig roast. 16th through the 18th of July, anywhere near Lyons, New York, or even if it's inconvenient, get there. Hang out with your Bearded Villain brothers from New York Upstate. July 16th through the 18th. Also, that same weekend, if you're more enjoyable to the southern warmer climates, July 17th, the First Coast Villains in Jacksonville are celebrating their 4-year anniversary with a party, and there's a change of venue now. It used to be at some park, and Anastasia State Park, I think is what it was called. Now it's at Sneakers Sports Grill in Jacksonville, Florida. Sneakers Sports Grill, Jacksonville, Florida, for the First Coast Villains 4-year anniversary party, July 17th. Then we roll into August, the big one. It's the only thing I have in the month of August, so really you don't much have an excuse. Unless it's, obviously if you have an excuse, you have an excuse. But it's not because you're going to other events, BV related. August 13th through the 15th, middle of the month, August 13th through the 15th, the Miami International Meet, taking place at the World Meet this year. It is gonna be a blast, guys. I'll be there. A lot of other brothers will be there. You don't have to come see me, but I will be there. August 13th through the 15th, Miami, Florida, for the Miami International Meet. I can't say much else other than it's just going to be a blast. If you need details or any extra information about it, hit up the 305 Bros. Hit up those brothers down at Miami for further information. Then we get into September. It's the 10th through the 12th, and that's this one I want to go to one of these days, guys. September 10th through the 12th, the Four Corners Meet. Four Corners Meet, brought to you by the Bearded Villains in Phoenix, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. Phoenix, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah for the Four Corners Meet. Now remember, this is the meet that is for brothers only, nobody else. None of those other things I've mentioned before. No significant others, girlfriends, boyfriends, spouses, unless they're a villain, but none of that stuff. Just us. Just bros. Just bros hanging out. Four Corners Meet, that's in Cortez, Colorado, and that is September 10th through the 12th. Also in September, don't forget and miss out on the East Coast Meet, September 24th to the 26th. September 24th to the 26th in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Hosted by the Bearded Villains of West Virginia, it's the East Coast Meet. Now, there are hotel arrangements that are set up. I've heard they might be going fast, so don't miss out. If you can get over to the East Coast Meet, you're available September 24th to the 26th. Hit up your brothers at West Virginia. Find out the details. Find out the hotel accommodations, all that stuff. See what they can do to give you a little bump to make it happen. East Coast Meet. I went a couple years ago. It was awesome. So get over there for that. Then we slide gently into October. October 8th and 9th. The Bearded Villains Missouri Valley chapter has a beard competition benefiting the Friends of Kids with Cancer. Not much better charity to raise money for than that, right? Benefiting Friends of Kids with Cancer. Friday night, they have a meet and greet, silent auction, 50-50 raffle. They have a competition on Saturday. That's October 8th and 9th for the Bearded Villains Missouri Valley Beard Competition. Don't miss out on that, guys. Then the next week, October 15th and 16th, is the Florida Summit in Pensacola Beach. I don't have any details specifically on that yet, but again, hey, if you're down there in Florida, you got to do that, right? Florida Summit, Pensacola Beach, October 15th and 16th. Then, if you got a costume and you're looking for an excuse to come up and CLBP, or just Northern Indiana, or have some fun, right? The week before Halloween, October 23rd, Ezra Crow's Halloween Havoc is what we're calling it, hosted by the Bearded Villains of Northern Indiana. It is a costume contest, beard competition, auction, raising money for the Ronald McDonald Houses of Northern Indiana. As you know, the Ronald McDonald Houses are at children's hospitals, benefiting children, the families of children in hospital, and they do so much for those families. And you can go on and on about that. So that's what it's raising money for, the Ronald McDonald Houses of Northern Indiana. That's Ezra Crow's Halloween Havoc. Again, that's hosted by the Bearded Villains, Northern Indiana. It's in Valparaiso, Indiana. That is October 23rd. Then the following weekend, if you didn't get enough of your costume contest stuff out, you get a chance the day before Halloween down in Alabama. That's right. The Downtown Halloween Bash, hosted by the Rocket City Bearded Villains. They're going to have a beard competition, a costume contest, and a whole bunch more down there with the Rocket City boys. I don't have any specific true information yet on that. Hopefully I'll get that for next week. That's October 30th for the Downtown Halloween Bash, hosted by the Rocket City Bearded Villains. And then finally, we're into November. Now, there's 2 specific things that are going on in November that I have so far, and those 2 things are on the same weekend. So it truly depends on where you are in the country, if you want to go or where you want to go. But they are both very, very cool events. And because they're very cool events in November, and they're both the weekend of my birthday, I think we need some 80s music for those. Yeah, there we go. All right. So, November 12th through the 14th is Battle of the Beards 2021, hosted by the Bearded Villains of Southern Indiana. November 12th through the 14th, Battle of the Beards 2021 in Southern Indiana. Guys, they raised a ton of money with this thing, and they raised it for a veterans charity, a veterans house that benefits veterans. It's a very cool thing, very cool organization, very cool event. The weekend of November 12th through the 14th, there's going to be a meet and greet. There's all sorts of good stuff there. Battle of the Beards 2021 in Southern Indiana, hosted by the Bearded Villains of Southern Indiana. And finally, November 13th. That is the birthday of mine. Thank you. Send drink coupons and all sorts of stuff my way. Beards Away is the name of the event. It's in Virginia, hosted by the Bearded Villains in Virginia. The Virginia Bearded Villains are your hosts. It's their 6th anniversary and beard competition. 6th anniversary and beard competition. It's at Bunker Brew Pub. I'm telling you what, the pictures and the trophies and stuff from previous events for Beards Away look pretty amazing, if I remember correctly. Not to put a lot of pressure on them for this year, but very cool stuff. So if you're in Virginia, or you can get to Virginia, November 13th for Beards Away, Virginia Bearded Villains are your hosts. 6th anniversary beard competition. Great times. All right, guys. That is the calendar of events that I have thus far. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight for episode 90. Can you believe it? Episode 90, guys. I love hearing it. Love it. All right, so you've heard the calendar of events. You have no excuses on where you need to be, right? Just be there. Be there when you need to be there to help your brothers out. Guys, that is going to do it. It's going to wrap up episode 90 of The Heart of a Villain. Remember, you can still buy those shirts, patches, pins, poker chips, t-shirts, all that good stuff at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. Theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. That's also where you can listen to all previous 89 episodes of this podcast. There's some good ones out there, and there's some stinkers out there. You be the judge. You can find them for yourself. Heartofavillain.simplecast.com. I want to challenge all of you guys, as I always do, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. The most important thing I say every week, and I will say it till I'm done, guys, remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. So guys, for now, have a great night. Have an incredible weekend. Have a safe 4th of July. Enjoy the week ahead afterwards. Take care. Stay safe, guys. See ya.
Hey, you know the B.I. It's BV Worldwide Fantasy. Stateside across ponds, no borders. I am my brothers. Keep your facial features covered. Stay feeling one brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay feeling. One brother.